Hi there, everyone. In our next collaboration, we have a wonderful, wonderful disability rights advocate joining us in this blog post. And I, without further ado, would love to introduce Ashley Wiseman. She is a social justice educator at the University of Michigan, whose work centers on developing undergraduate students' intercultural leadership skills. She is the associate director of the U of M Global Scholars Programs and holds a lecturer position instructing leadership courses each term. Additionally, Ashley is dedicated to advancing intersectional disability justice on campus. She is a power wheelchair user with a service dog sidekick, a gold retriever named Reason. She co-chairs disability culture at U of M and serves on the Council for Disability Concerns Advisory Group. She was an active member of the award-winning Student Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility Board and received a National Center for Institutional Diversity grant to help develop the Mapping Disability Knowledge Community, an online database of people working toward disability inclusion at the University of Michigan. Ashley appreciates good video games, bad jokes, and great coffee. And boy, oh boy, you guys are in for a great interview. I've known Ashley for quite some time, and I am happy to be a student of hers in the Global Scholars Program in the upcoming year, and hope you enjoy this very informative, powerful blog post that Ashley wrote about U of M culture, disability culture. So enjoy. Ashley, thank you so much for being here today for this blog post celebration. Really, I think you did a great job. Are you ready to dive into some questions?
I'm so ready. Happy to be
Oh,
here, and thanks for having me.
yes. So what was the process of writing the blog post like?
Ooh, you asked such great questions, and I found myself really enjoying the reflection exercise of it. I often had to stop and think and also question where my information or my ideas are coming from, making sure that I'm recognizing the people who have influenced my beliefs, because, I don't want to drop some wisdom and lay claim to it when really I've had the opportunity to explore ideas from many great people and great groups. So yeah, it was a really good reflection process.
I feel you too. I enjoy writing the posts because they really give us an opportunity to reflect on our own experiences. And this next question, how do you feel about communicating your lived experience on a public platform like a blog?
Well, I've been, I guess, lucky to have had other opportunities, so it maybe isn't as intimidating as it was when I was doing this for the first time. But I do, every time, I think I can be I try to be as intentional about my words as possible. I try to remember to, hit on all the key points without leaving something or somebody out, but it's impossible. So I think for me, there's always a little bit of like vulnerability, I guess. And I also know that I'm really lucky to be able to put my perspective forward, and disabled people and lots of other marginalized folks don't always have that opportunity. So I also feel like it's important for us to share our perspectives.
Powerful. Indeed, it is. So are you ready for some rapid fire questions now?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
let's do
ready.
it. So, first one, disability culture is blank.
Complicated.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All
Should I
right,
say
next
more,
one.
or how
No,
rapid
no,
are we
I
going?
think
Okay.
that speaks for itself. So, what is one thing often people get wrong about you in terms of living with a disability?
Mm, I think um, lowered expectations.
Mm,
So low expectations of what I'm capable of, low expectations of what my quality of life is, low expectations of what I consider disability to be. So I think it's just this sort of people could think bigger than they do.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you have broke through every expectation, so I can tell you that they were wrong.
Ah,
So
thanks,
another
friend.
question is, what book are you excited to read in the coming future?
So I have been reading the Mistborn series
Okay.
by Brandon Sanderson, and it's so good. It's a fantasy series that has a lot of social justice themes to it, even though the power structures are not the same as the world we live in. They are definitely there. And I learned about it through my boyfriend, who apparently has another series from the same author lined up for me. I don't know which one it is, but I'm almost there. I'm almost finished with the last in the series. So,
It's great to see how fiction can also tell a world of
mm,
reality.
yes,
So next one is, my disability is empowering because.
because it gives me insight into truths that are not always clear or accessible to people who are not disabled.
Deep. That is, I mean, speaking from someone who is also living with a disability, I feel where you are connecting with me there. So related to, all of your lived experiences, who is someone that inspires you?
Mm. You know, I always struggle with this sort of question because it's hard to pinpoint a single person.
Mm,
And it's tempting to say, like some big name, but I find inspiration from the people around me, my friends, my loved ones, my comrades who are trying to advance, um, an equitable world for all of us. So yeah, I think it's really just like those moments when I notice people harnessing their energy and doing something really creative and effective, or just being resilient.
mm.
Um, or being vulnerable too, because sometimes we're just not okay, and that's okay.
You have to be grateful for the people you surround yourself with.
Hmm.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So our final rapid fire question is for our audience to consider. What is one idea for our audience to consider when they approach the subject of disability or encounter a person living with a disability?
I think going back to that low expectations um, theme that I brought up, that theme in my life, I think just considering the idea that disability is really complicated, and whatever you imagine it to be, it probably isn't.
Mhm.
So empathy is great. Trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes is wonderful, but it can really only get so far. So you may not know just by trying to imagine someone else's world and withholding assumptions or ideas of what you think someone's experience may be is important, and listening to what they actually experience is really important too.
Yeah. Wow. I couldn't put it in any better terms. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Ashley, for having this quick interview with us today. Hey, everyone, check out Ashley's blog post. I did a little summary at the end of how I got connected with Ashley, and check it out on our website. Also, check out our Instagram and LinkedIn page. But thank you again, Ashley, for having this time to spare in your busy schedule to interview about your blog post.
It's been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, see you all next time.